Hello, hello. Let me know if you can see and hear me okay. This is going to be a group energy healing where I heal 138 people in 11 different countries. And the theme for this set of 2 healings is the same that we used in the last set of 3 healings. So it's all this month. The theme is a 3-part theme: hearing angels and hearing the wiser parts of you. That's one part. Creative inspiration, and then self-care. For a million reasons, self-care is important, but also for stability, self-care. So that's the theme: hearing angels, creative inspiration, and self-care, for short. So it's going to be really good. And oh, thank you for the confirmation. I really appreciate that. And I did want to say, sorry, I got distracted. So I want to say what we're going to do today. So I will change the banner for that. A bit big. Right. Oh, I wanted to show people this background image. It's really nice. I purchased it. It's a photo I purchased, but it also happens to be one of the images that I'm using on my purchase page right now, for, I think this is for June triplet sets that are on sale right now. This image. See, isn't that pretty? So anyway, maybe I'll show it more, like if I'm doing a Q&A at the end or something, self-validation discussion at the end. So anyway, okay, so what are we going to do today? There are there's some things I just want to repeat from the last healing, the 3rd healing in the triplet set, and then there's some things that I'm specifically pointing out would help for each of the 3 parts of the theme. So the repeats that I just want to repeat because they'll help everything and they're really good. The invasive people room, that became a little 3-minute short video. I did manage to make that. So I released that yesterday. So if you subscribe to the channel and then you turn on notifications, I think it'll, notify you every time I put up a new video. But anyway, that's part of the short video playlist that I keep talking about now. So you can find it there. And the short video playlist is featured on my YouTube channel page. But anyway, that's the invasive people room technique. It's quick, it's fun, it's cool. So we're going to do that again today, that technique. And I think we'll also repurpose it to, for part of the theme, but I'll talk about that in a minute. So, and then in addition, another thing I want to repeat is clearing abuse blocks. We did a pretty easy, approachable way to do that in the last healing of the triplet set, where you clear, you sort of make 2 piles first of like abuse energy baggage that you have that you think is healthy and gentle to clear right now, and then the abuse baggage that's like definitely too much for you to clear right now that you think is too much, and then you have your angels double check your arrangement of the piles, like which abuse baggage is doable right now to clear and which baggage is too much to clear, and then you ask for angel storage for the too much to clear right now stuff, so your angels can help you to store it in a way that's most advantageous for you, leading a fully functioning happy life, and then because plain old repression, if you just repress what's too much to deal with, that can like get triggered at like really inconvenient times. So angels can help so that it's stored in a different way and not in standard just repression, shove it down kind of way. And then clearing the stuff that is healthy and gentle to clear right now. So that, I want to repeat that. I think that did help. That gave, I think, clear benefit to some people in the healing. And it's one of those ones, though, that I always suggest, I probably need to suggest it more often, but I suggest that people okay, I'm going to ban somebody in the chat just because I feel like it's a little too distracting. All right. So I sometimes talk about thinking about, like, okay, after the healing, there's so many things that we did, right? But I do outline them, in writing in the comment section within a day. And I do make chapters, in the video, so you could see it right at the bottom part of the video. You'll see a chapter title, and you click on one chapter title and you'll see them all. If you want to get more out of a healing that I do, even if you're just at home healing yourself and you didn't purchase it, I would suggest that you look at the sections and use your intuition and ask your angels. And if you're not confident on any of that, try it anyway, using your intuition, and ask your angels and just guess if you aren't confident, because a lot of times guessing is intuitive. But pick the topics that you need to repeat again, the little sections that you need to repeat again. And think about, okay, well, how often do I need to repeat it? And you can also say too, well, I want to work with my angels more on any of it that I need, in my sleep. So that if maybe your motivation isn't great right then, or you're too busy, to fit in time, whatever reason, at least on the astral, you'll still be working some of this stuff, because a lot of it, I think particularly the clear abuse blocks part that we're going to be doing, and that we did in the third healing of the triplet set, so it's the last healing we did. If you really want positive change in your life, that could be definitely one that you could work over and over and over. And if you're motivated, if you really, really want change, but you're not motivated to meditate and redo parts of the healing, that you might get yourself into trouble with, because you might just sort of kind of haphazardly redo some stuff subconsciously, but you don't do it properly with the steps that we did, like with the angel storage and having the angels review your piles and all that. And so, I think there are, so anyway, long story short, just, this one in particular, the clearing abuse blocks, and the way we're going to do it, it's designed to be really careful and really safe and really mindful and easy. So, just a heads up that, use your intuition. There may be no need for you to redo it, but use your intuition. Maybe just in your sleep with your angels, you can work on it more, or, you can use that section over time, for a couple days in a row or something, or, in a week after the healing or whatever. Use your intuition, but see if some of these things you need to repeat, or you would greatly benefit from repeating. Okay. So that's that. So those are the two things that are the repeats. Then for hearing angels, for hearing your angels better, there are two things that I know, two extra things that I know I want to do. One of them is clearing fear. Because I noticed, it kind of surprised me, because I don't really associate clearing fear with hearing your angels, but I noticed that one of the sample people that the angels pointed out to me, that's one of the main reasons why he can't hear his angels when he can't hear his angels. Like, I mean, he's not very like psychically aware, so it's not like he hears something and then it's like, ah, that's my angels. You know, he'll just hear it as his own thought and at least for a moment consider it, you know? And so that's great, right? And so, but when he doesn't hear his angels, even just as his own thought, a lot of that is because some of his fear gets triggered. So we're going to clear the fear that's in the way of you hearing your angels, in particular. And then something that's very similar to that, so I'm just going to do it right at the same time, is clearing fear of crossroads. You can have, you know, like the crossroad, like, okay, you're at a point and you could go this way or that way. Like, as far as it's like, I'm calling them decision crossroads, right? So you have to make a decision. And it's like a sort of a consequential decision, not like, you know, should I have ham or beef for breakfast? It's more like, you know, oh, this is too much for me. I need to simplify. And, you know, and so then it's going to really change your experience after making that decision, right? And so some people have a lot of, I think everybody, maybe most people have at least a little fear of change or a little fear of decision crossroads. And that could block you from hearing your angels' advice about, you know, what you should choose. So we're going to clear those types of fears. And then also just a little bit of simple work on the telepathic mesh, which is part of your fifth layer. Fifth chakra is hearing angels, communication with self and others, peace of mind, you know, all sorts of good things. And so your fifth chakras, both astral and physical fifth chakras, generate your fifth layers of your astral and physical auras, right? It goes all the way around you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So 5. And so right in the front of your fifth layer, there's this gold flowy mesh, hopefully, unless it's completely destroyed. But if you just run gold light through it, it'll recreate itself. You don't have to manufacture one. But anyway, we're going to just repair it and unblock it and, you know, all that good stuff. Just because it is pretty important for, you know, telepathy, hearing too, like having control over what you hear versus like just having somebody be mad at you and then you hear their voice in your head for a while. You know, if you can have that nice and repaired and flowing and, you know, so without even little slits in it or rips, and then without, you know, energy blocks all around it and just uncorded and no invasive beings hooked into it, then it's a nice, it's protective and it also enhances your ability to hear telepathy. So it's a good thing. So anyway, so those two things. Oh, and I did want to, most likely one of the next shorter videos that I'm going to make is an excerpt video from another excerpt video from the last healing. There was this section, it was like just under 20 minutes long about we did so much stuff in it, but we did fifth chakras, fifth layers, fifth chakra good karma window, fifth telepathic mesh. We even did tree trunk points, and then we did GV 15 to 20. So it was like this really cool vibe, and what we literally did was cool, but the vibe was nice too. So I can't swear to it, but I think it's likely that I'll be releasing that as a short excerpt video. Short, that one won't be super short. That'll be like 20 minutes ish. But just a heads up, that'll probably be coming. And so if you, like I said, if you subscribe and then have the little notification bell icon clicked next to subscribe, I think, then YouTube will notify you, you know, when that video is posted. All right. So that's that about hearing your angels for today. Okay, so creative inspiration. For that, today we are going to we're going to clear some things, which again, like you might not associate with creative inspiration, but I saw that it would help with it anyway, even though it's not obvious, which is clearing waiting blocks, which we have done before, but we probably don't do it enough. Like that idea of like, what are you waiting for? Like sometimes you're just waiting, but it's like you're waiting for something subconsciously that's kind of irrational or won't come, or you don't need to wait for it. Like it's kind of funny how you can get caught up in like this waiting thing where you're waiting for something and it stops you in like much bigger ways than you might realize. So we're going to clear energy blocks relating to that kind of thing, like sort of unnecessary waiting or unhealthy waiting. Also procrastination blocks, which more obviously impact what you can accomplish, if you have energy blocks causing you to procrastinate. So that could probably include waiting blocks, but also, for whatever other reasons you're procrastinating, maybe fear of disappointing people or, whatever, all sorts of reasons. So we're going to clear waiting blocks and procrastination blocks. And oddly enough, I do think that'll help creative inspiration. So there's that. Also, I think, yeah, okay. I think I'll throw in tree trunk blocks in there too. For creative inspiration, just because there's some above the head work with unblocking above the head with tree trunk blocks and all the major joints, and so you can unblock them, but you can also kind of tune the vibration of all of them at once. And we did that some in the last healing, and I think we did that to help creative inspiration in the last healing as well. It helps presence too. It helps a lot of things, but I think we'll do that again. Just because creative inspiration and hearing angels, it's like you have to be at it helps if you're at a more refined kind of vibration, so that you're not matching like all the chaos and pain around you, so you can more clearly hear angel messages and messages from your higher self. So anyway, so we'll add clearing tree trunk blocks and sort of tuning the vibration of all your tree trunk areas to help creative inspiration. Hope we have time to do all this, right? If we don't have time to get to some of it, or it turns out to be too much to do in a day, obviously we have the Tuesday healing, so some of it might end up being done on Tuesday instead. We'll see. But for self-care blocks, I think this is where we'll do a repurposed version of the invasive people room technique, the invasive people room technique, it's a 3-minute video, like I said, an excerpt video that I made, posted yesterday. But that's to get people out of your space. You imagine this room, and the room represents your space, but all you see in it, rather than, all your chakras and your auras and all this complex stuff, is you just see the people that are in your space in the room, and maybe the invasive beings that are in your space too. And then so you have the angels recycle the invasive beings, and then you see the invasive people that are still in your space, and the floor of that room represents the energy blocks that they're courting to send their energy in your space. So the energy blocks in your space are really what's allowing these people to be in your space. So you just melt the floor of the room. And once all those blocks are cleared, then, the people pop out of the room, and you can dissolve everything. And, you did it. You popped the people out of your space. So we're going to do that for self-care. In other words, like sometimes you can have people in your space, and it may really not be what they intend, but they may be blocking you from taking self-care action, like exercising or taking a nice relaxing bath or something. Like for example, say you have 20 minutes and you end up train wrecking on YouTube or something, watching something that doesn't really help you and you don't even really care about it that much. But anyway, turns out you end up spending 20 minutes on it, rather than taking like a 20-minute relaxing bath or something, and so, but it can be that you have people in your space, and the effect of it is just that you you just don't have that level of focus and determination to actually take that relaxing bath. Or, get on your treadmill and start working out, or, do your little free weights in your house, or do a couple stretches on your floor or something. So we're going to do a self-care invasive people room and see, like, okay, the room represents your space, and you want to see if there are any invasive beings or people blocking you from doing your self-care. And if so, you see them in this room, right? And then, so yes, angels to get rid of the invasive beings. And then for the people that are in this invasive people self-care room, you melt the floor, right? The floor represents the energy blocks that are allowing these people to be in your space in the first place. Yeah, you melt the blocks so that then the people pop out of your space. And, becomes at least a little bit easier to do your self-care activities in your actual daily life, as opposed to just, wouldn't it be nice? Okay, so that's all. So that's what I would like to do today. We'll see, like I said, if I have time for all of it. And then two, before we get to starting the healing, I do want to make a political discussion section. And it'll be the final, at least for a while, it'll be the final one that I do. So if you're interested in these sort of political discussions, this is one I would recommend. And just a heads up, I am liberal. I am progressive, liberal in the US. Liberal in the US means like I'm for helping the poor and, public services and, healthcare for everybody, that kind of thing. So anyway, this is a political discussion right now. So if you don't want to hear it, just mute it, right? Until that heading is gone. Once the heading is gone, then I won't be talking about politics, right? Okay, so I'll put final. Nah, I won't put it. Okay. So anyway, this is though the reason why I'm not going to have a political section of my healings anymore, is because in my opinion, the US is sort of sliding down the slippery slope of fascism currently. And there are some things happening in the US that are I think particularly, we've always had things in the US that are disturbing, but specifically, ICE and how they round up people and they don't really need to have committed a crime, and the people that are rounding up people they're covering their faces and they're wearing plain clothes. They don't have a uniform. They just show up, 5 or 6 people, and they take the person off the street, or they in one case they tricked somebody, like he went to his citizenship. They told him it would be for his citizenship test, and it turned out no, ICE took him instead, because he had a green card, and they were like, oh, come for your citizenship test. And so he came, and they took him. ICE took him. And how they transport people immediately to a totally different state, which I think is it's like the same idea as human trafficking, where the idea with human trafficking is you move someone to where they're not from, so they don't have any local support system. So then it's easier to, control that person, right? And so with these ICE things, they snatch the person and they immediately move them to like 3 states over, 4 states over. Like the US is a huge country, so they're moving them far away all of a sudden, and so then by the time the lawyer or the loved one finds out where they are, they're far away. So their local senator for the state doesn't have as much power to like intervene at all, because they're not even in that state anymore. So anyway, all that's quite disturbing. And So the thing is, how does ICE target these people? Some of the news sources that I've been listening to have mentioned that there are online groups that like find people that they don't like, and then they tell ICE, so like there are some people that don't like people who protest in favor of Gaza and Palestinians. And so those groups, or a specific group, I don't remember the name of it, gets names of people like in college campuses that protests in support of Gaza, in support of, like a 2-state solution, that kind of idea. And they take the names of those people and they give them to ICE. And that's how those people get, abducted on the street or tricked into whatever. And these people could be professors. They could be, students with green cards, it doesn't matter. And so that's a concern. I mean, it's of course very disturbing, but it affects me in a different personal way because of the targeting group idea. Because I'm an energy healer. Sorry. I'm an energy healer, and I need to be able to work publicly. That's the whole point of my work. Well, not the whole point, but probably more than half the point. I mean, I heal people, and that's very important, but to publicly teach what I'm doing in a very public way for no charge, so anyone on the globe can hear it, that's very important. And that's part of why I do group healings, is so that the teaching is free and it's for everybody. But there are very conservative Christians, not all Christians, of course, but there are some very conservative Christians who would be very offended by what I'm doing. According to them, it would go against the Bible to do energy healing. And so there are right-wing Christian groups that would have sway with at least some people in ICE. And so it's conceivable. I mean, it's not like, oh, I think it'll happen tomorrow, but it's conceivable that with all this happening, that different targeting groups can become more emboldened. And, and I don't want my name to be on a list. So if at some point, in order to work safely in this public way, I need to work from a different country, I certainly will. Because my skill is to be an energy healer and a teacher, and to do it publicly is very important. So I wanted to give you guys a heads up. Not that, I have my bags packed or anything, but I talked about in the intro discussion that, there are crossroads, right? Sometimes, and you have decision crossroads. And so sometimes things are not set in stone. So it's not set in stone if I would move out of the country, although eventually I could definitely see that. Me living in a different country and working and still doing this exact work and on this exact YouTube channel from a different country. But when I move to a different country is not set in stone, and which country I move to at which time is not set in stone, right? But I tend to make big changes in my life anyway. My clients know that, people that have been working with me for, I mean, I've done this for over 2 decades, so there are people that have known me for quite a while. You'll already know that I do tend to make big changes. So just a heads up that, I can still do this work from a different country. All I need is a fast internet connection. I'm already healing people in 11 different countries in this healing today. So just, I guess, because I've learned too that when I make big changes, some of my clients, like it kind of blows their mind in not a good way, that just because, everybody's fear of change can get triggered, right? So if someone they know makes a big change, it just triggers all their fear of change, even if it's probably not technically a negative thing for them that person made the change. It just triggers their fear of change, right? So anyway, we're going to work fear of change today. I promise we'll definitely do clear STEB. So all the shit that I've triggered by talking, we will be able to clear a lot of it in the healing. So that's good. But so that's pretty much it. So I'm thinking that's why I'm going to make 2 smaller changes now to potentially give me more time in the US to work. And one of them is not, having big banners that say political in my live stream. I figure, all right, well, these, super right-wing Christian groups, I would already be in their crosshairs. But if I'm openly anti-Trump and anti-Trump regime and talking about fascism and stuff, then I might extra be in their crosshairs, so why tempt fate, like you guys know my political views, so I don't need to keep beating that drum if, it gets in the way of me doing my actual profession. So that's why I won't have any more overtly political sections. And if I mention politics while I'm in the US in the foreseeable future, I'll just sort of hint at things, but there'll be no section on it. Nothing that's easy to find for someone casually viewing my live streams. And another thing, which is crazy, but it is what it is. I'm not going to, I always, when I do the country count and I say where people are from, I say how many children I'm healing. Because I'm always so impressed by parents that pay for their kids to get energy healing. Like that just blows my mind. Like if I had been able to get energy healing when I was growing up, it could have really, really helped. Especially like, oh my God, like chakra repair and aura repair and creative ring repair and grounding when I was a kid, like, holy shit, would that have been nice? So anyway, the fact that at least some parents in the world are doing that and they're paying me to heal their kids and their kids get the benefit of that, I love that. So of course I'm going to still heal kids. So if you have kids, you want them to get energy healing, definitely email me, purchase on my website, whatever, let me know their kids just so I can be aware and how old they are. But of course I'll heal kids, but I'm not going to say, like when I do the country count and everything, I'm not going to say including, 10 kids or whatever, ages, 5 to 17, just because in the US, these like really extremist groups, they tend to like really get very intense about children. Like they make up things like you're corrupting children or you're harming children. And it's like a very common thing that they'll use to try to demonize somebody or demonize a group of people that, oh, they're harming children. So the fact that I would be doing energy healing on children, it's like really something that could really get them going and, extra get me on a hit list, kind of an ICE target list kind of thing. So that's another thing I won't be mentioning how many kids I'm healing in each healing, but whatever. That's not a huge thing, but it's kind of wild that that's a thing that I would have to not say. But anyway, so I guess the last thing I want to say too about the sort of the fascism creep that's happening in the US is the whole thing about how people are not getting due process like through any of this. And they're not getting like trials, you know, before they're like sent off to a lifetime prison in El Salvador. They're not getting a trial. Or, you know, people who are getting, you know, trafficked from one state to the whole different part of the country and held in ICE detention centers and, you know, in terrible conditions and for God knows how long. They're not getting like a day in court right away or anything, or if at all. It's just like somebody in ICE that decides, or some target group that decides, and then they just run with it. And the extra concern too is that I don't know where the off-ramp on that one is, because there seem to be a lot of Americans who are very into that. You know, like they like demonizing certain groups of people. They like, you know, the cruelty of it. They have no discomfort with it whatsoever. So that's disturbing, because it'd be one thing if, you know, oh, Trump and some crazy people in his cabinet, you know, were like that. Then, you know, people would rise up and it would all stop and we'd be fine again, right? You know, but it seems like a lot of people that voted for him actually like this stuff. So that's what makes the concern more significant for me. So anyway, I just keep asking, you know, in general, you know, I'll just keep asking the angels, you know, and when the angels say it's time to start applying for, you know, digital nomad visas for certain countries, I will do that, you know. But until they say that, I'll stay here in the US and right in our house, you know, which we like a lot. and I'll keep doing this, but I'll keep working even if I do move to a different country. Just, I want everyone to understand that. I will move to a country that has really good upload speeds. So I'll be able to upload, and I can show pretty pictures from whatever country I end up in too. So it'll be fun for everybody. So anyway, that's that. Hope that makes sense. My final political discussion for at least the near future. Oh, that was a big one. I'm going to mute the microphone and blow my nose. So let's see, what will I write here? So we'll do chat comments once I'm done blowing my nose. And then we'll do 3 minutes of quiet, and then we'll start the healing. And during the healing, I talk out loud. I say what I'm doing as I do it, except for that first minute. And so you could use the healing as an all levels walkthrough and heal yourself as you listen. You can listen to what I'm doing. Okay, so now my blowing nose part. Excuse me, please. Okay, thank you for waiting. La la la. So hopefully this is just light sort of comments about where you're watching from, what the weather is like, where you are. Here, the weather is nice. Oh, I think I'll add a part to the healing where we adjust to spring. Like the, you know, winter to spring transition. Because I think sometimes it's like you feel like you should be feeling like it's hard to switch gears mentally sometimes between seasons. So I'm gonna help a little clear energy and nourish for that. So you feel more like you're ready for spring and you can enjoy it and do what you need to do and all that good stuff. All right. So someone says, hello in California. Sky is a little overcast. Super excited for our healing today. Oh, good. Sorry about the overcast skies. But it's probably kind of warm there, hopefully. Someone says, hello, Janet and everyone from Las Vegas, Nevada in the U.S. 71 degrees Fahrenheit and mostly cloudy. 71's still nice, though. Pretty with a heart. Oh, probably the photo. Yeah, I can make the photo more visible while I do chat comments. How about that? Chat comments. There we go. Wait, you want to see the sun? That's nice. Okay. Oh yeah, if you could give the live stream a thumbs up. That does help quite a bit. So there you go. Thumbs up, please. And there's my thumbs up for you. All right. Let's see what else. Someone says, hey, Janet, can see and hear you in Chicago. 63 Fahrenheit and cloudy. Well, hello to you. You know, actually right now it's sunny here. Kind of weird that we finally have some sunshine and all my commenters do not. Oh well. But 63 is nice. I don't think we're up that high yet. Maybe we'll get there today though, maybe. Someone says, I love the background. Oh yes, thank you. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, I bought it. There's a website I go on, motionelements.com, and like they sell images for like $5 each. That they have a lot of nice selection. That's why I get some of the moving backgrounds from. Some of those were free actually. My husband found them, but on that website, motionelements.com. Okay. Hello from New Jersey. Hello to you. This is hello, Janet. Can see and hear you. Yeah, clearing abuse works very well for me. It also inspired me to clear more of the victim energy. Great chain reaction. Very cool. I'm glad it helped. Someone says, loved all that 5th chakra layer stuff from the last healing. Yeah. I liked it when we were doing it, and then I did it again this morning, like just using the recording, and I really liked it. So it's on the definite maybe list to be an excerpt video soon. Looking forward to the short video whenever it's ready. Yeah, it'll be nice. Someone gives a little heart emoji. Thank you. So it says, hello from cloudy Las Vegas, another Las Vegas viewer. Excited for the healing. Thank you. Especially self-care as I am sick and need to give myself some TLC without being stuck on my phone. Yes. Well, we'll see what we can do. Someone says, hello from sunny at the moment, Washington. Yeah, exactly. Washington State. Sunny at the moment. You must be in the western part of Washington State. I think the eastern part where I'm not has more sunshine than we do. But you can correct me if you live on the eastern part. I don't know. I know it's very different there weather-wise. Let's see. It says, sending love to you, Janet. Thank you. Probably when I was crying during the political discussion. Yeah, someone says, thank you, Janet, for the political talk. I completely understand. Someone says, grounding for sure. You are healing children. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Someone says, hello, Janet from Italy. Hugs. Lots of emojis. Thank you. Someone's little cute little Tinkerbell emoji or angel, I guess. Someone says hello from Lake Worth Beach, Florida, in the U.S. Just found a stray dog, and I'm out with the animal control lady trying to collect the Jack Russell dog. Looking forward to this healing again. Thank you very much, Janet. Yeah, I don't know if you have a Facebook group for your area, because I know in our area, our neighborhood has a Facebook page just for our neighborhood. And that's where they typically will post the stray dog stuff. Because a lot of here though, it's our like city pound for animals is pretty safe. Like, cause it's such an underpopulated area that we don't have as many there's not as much risk for euthanasia if a dog or a cat ends up there in this neighborhood. But I know in Chicago, if it's possible to find the owner without bringing them to the pound, then obviously that's ideal because it's less stressful for the pet. And then if nobody claims the pet, they could eventually be, euthanized in a busy local shelter potentially in this country. So a heads up on that. So if there is some sort of a Facebook community group, maybe that, local residents might know about for your neighborhood, you could post something. Someone says, very nice sunset. Thank you. Yes, I agree. It's beautiful. Someone says, on the desert side of the Cascades. Oh, you are? Oh, so you're in Eastern Washington. Well, hello to you. Yeah. So it's not sunny all I know Idaho has a lot of sun. That's further east from even you. But that's interesting. Yeah, feel free to keep posting your weather. I'm always curious about what the other side of the state is like. So this is hello from Ireland. Hello to you. Someone says hello from Qatar. Hello to you. Yay. All right, that's fun. I love working with people all over. So nice. All righty. So I'm going to resize this now so I don't have to do it when I'm starting the healing. You know what? Maybe I will change it though. Because after I was sort of crying, after I was crying during the political discussion section, I probably need a kitten photo myself. So here we go. This is the other photo from, it's on my website on the purchase page. Oh, it's so cute. I purchased it from that website I talked about, emotionelements.com, for $5. But I think I need some kitten photo therapy right now. Oh, it's so cute. But anyway, that's right now the photo for the June twin set on the purchase page of my website. Is this photo. But yeah, so I need a little kitten photo therapy after talking about politics. So let's see, what am I? Oh, here we go. They're so cute. Trying to show myself a little bigger, but not edge out the kittens too badly. Because they're so wonderful. My little baby kitten. Yeah, maybe that's okay. Right. So we'll have 3 minutes of quiet while you enjoy kitten phototherapy. And towards the end of that, I'll start the healing. All right. Okay, thanks for waiting. So let's unblock hand chakras. So you have a big hand chakra in the palm of each hand and a fingertip chakra in each fingertip. So with your intention, you don't have to see energy yet to do this. Set those chakras, your hand chakra and your fingertip chakras, to a metallic gold color, like this glitter. And then use the gold light generated by one hand to unblock the energy centers in the other hand. Okay, so your all chakras generate energy. So by setting those chakras to a metallic gold color, that means that that's the color or the vibration of energy that they're currently generating. And gold is a really nice vibration for letting go, for releasing, for repairing, for non-resistance. So just take a minute and unblock, especially your hand chakras and your fingertip chakras, but also your wrists and your shoulders and your elbows. You can make a copy out in front of you of all of that, your shoulders. It's pretty common to get hard objects stuck in the back of your shoulders or the top of your shoulders and your neck. So just you can pop out hard objects, let them explode, and just have a use lots of gold light. You can say, angels, if there's any invasive beings in the way of this healing work, can you please recycle them? You can unblock the energy channels within your neck and shoulders and arms. Energy from your fourth chakras, fifth chakras, and sixth chakras and seventh chakras. They go into the fourth layer, fifth, sixth, seventh layers of your auras, but also an extra portion of that energy flows downward down your shoulders and arms. So anyway, a copy out in front of you of kind of like this, you know, of your shoulders and your arms and your hands. And use gold light and just heal and unblock, melt away hard objects, melt away cords from other people, unblock your neck and your shoulders, arms, and your. All right, good job. Okay, so grounding. Let's redo grounding. So you can let go of your old grounding and make new ones. Make them both red or orange or yellow, both the same color. One for your physical body energy system and one for your astral body energy system, which is you as a spirit. To make them both wide, nice and wide as all your auras, and wide all the way down to the core of the earth. Make them come up high as your third chakra, which is below your sternum, that bone that goes down right there, just below that. That's where your third chakra is. So bring your groundings up nice and high as your third chakra, just to give extra support to your lower chakras. And then you can make a copy out in front of you of your groundings and comb through them with the gold light from your hands. And you're unblocking your grounding. So just find the energy blocks. If you can't see, you're not confident at using your intuition, just sweep them all in one spot and then melt them there. So with your hands, sweep all your energy blocks and your grounding into one spot and use lots of gold light to melt it away or blow it up, blow up the blocks. So sweep together the blocks and your grounding and melt them away. Sweep together the blocks, melt them away. And again, you can say, angels, if there are any invasive beings in the way of this healing work, can you please recycle them? You want your grounding to have, both your groundings to have very strong downward flow, kind of like a really fast waterfall or like pouring rain, you know, everywhere in the grounding. So even in the back of your grounding, the center, both sides, the front. Lots of good downward flow. Indie grounding is where you check the outer surface all the way down of both your groundings, and you run gold light through that outer surface to melt away any connections between your grounding and other people's grounding. Because while it's nice to be supportive to other people, if you hook your grounding up to them or allow their grounding to hook up to yours, then you're both kind of screwed. It's like it doesn't it's one of those things that people do out of instinct, but it's like an unhealthy instinct. So then everybody's stuck. So if you have people that you're trying to be supportive of, just, say with your mind, just say, hey, let your angels help you with grounding, so then their angels will help them to be more grounded. So wash everybody out of your grounding, melt away any connections between your grounding and other people's grounding. Even if you have little kids, they're going to be much more stable and, like age appropriate, stable, if they have their own grounding going all the way down and you have yours. All right. Great job. So this is a nice combo. It's one that a lot of times we'll do at the end of a healing. But since I broke down in tears during the political discussion and just the content of what I said, may have triggered things for you as a listener. So let's clean all that up. Rather, it's not bad to get triggered, especially if you actually clear the triggers. Then it can be very helpful to move forward, right? So it's really okay that we dredged up stuff, because now we can actually clear it rather than just shove it down deeper. So just pile out in front of you everything that got triggered by my political discussion, or whatever day that you're having, just whatever's triggered for you. And you can make 2 piles, and say, okay, well, this is the stuff I think is healthy and gentle to clear right now, and this is the stuff that's too much to clear right now. And ask your angels to double check both of those piles. Say, angels, can you check my piles? Just deep breath in case your angels, need to sort a little bit. Then you're just taking a nice breath. And so the pile or piles of baggage that's too much to clear right now, it's not healthy and gentle to clear right now. Just say, angels, can you help me with angel storage for that stuff? Right? And then your angels will get rid of it. They'll, some of it will get stored back in your space, but in a more functional way than just standard repression. And some of it the angels will remove temporarily until you're ready. So then you have what's left over is what's healthy and gentle to clear right now. So it's baggage that's triggered for you. That is totally, there's no downside right now. It's healthy and gentle to clear it right now, right? So just have that pile or piles and bring up red earth energy, soak those piles. You could say, angels, if there are any invasive beings hooked into this junk, can you please recycle those beings? Because beings like drama, they like stirring up garbage, so just get rid of them first. And then just melt away cords from people going into this baggage, because it's really hard for most people not to cord other people's baggage, unless they're like a trained therapist or someone like this that practices a lot of non-judgment and boundaries. So you might have a lot of even well-intentioned people cording your baggage. So just wash them all out so that you'll be able to clear the baggage. And then just keep using gold light. You can blow up all the piles or just keep melting them fully. And if there's anything left over that hasn't cleared, just wrap it up in lots of gold and give it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with this? All right, good job, good job. So then now, unprocessed stress pots, it's an easy way to make sure you're ready for whatever's next, or even ready now for what's in your life right now. It's a symbolic representation. You don't have stress pots in your space, but it's a symbolic representation of being of catching up on like processing things that have happened to you or events that you've witnessed or whatever. And if you're not caught up, you have like a lot of unprocessed stuff in your space, then you could be kind of full. You know, you're just not, you can't handle one more thing. And life, you know, life happens anyway. Life isn't gonna wait for you. So we can catch up by clearing all the backlog of processing. And so that way you feel more like ready and stable and highly functioning, which is what we're aiming for, right? So just imagine pots that represent your, you know, your sort of headspace for new things and new events, right? And so see if your unprocessed stress pots are full, or are they empty? Are they in between? Or some, you know, some full, some not full. You know, maybe you have 40 unprocessed stress pots, maybe you have 20, maybe you have 15, whatever, right? And so imagine all of them, even the ones that you pretend you don't have, and just see, are they overflowing? Are they full? What's going on with them? And just bring up red earth energy, soak them all, gold light, and use the gold light too to melt cords going into these pots from other people. Because a lot of times those cords will make it really hard for you to clear stuff, even though, you know, otherwise you would have, right? So just melt people's cords and then melt the contents of these pots. So this is like you're catching up on processing, you know, events, things that you've heard about, whatever. So give yourself a minute, keep breathing. You can say, angels, help me do this. There you go. All right, good job. So you can blow all that up. All right. Okay, so now we're going to repair and unblock all your 17 auras. We'll do it at one time, so it's not as complicated as it sounds. But you do have 17 auras. They wrap all around you. Astral body is one, physical body is one, physical body aura, astral body aura. And then you have 15 auras called Wei Qi auras. So, I'll write that out. And sorry, my advanced people sometimes get sick of me explaining things, but it is what it is. People need to learn. So, okay, so those are the 17 auras that we'll be repairing right now, all at the same time, right? So just you have a copy out in front of you of all of them. It looks kind of like one big bubble, even though it's 17 bubbles in the exact same place, right? And just use your hands and gold light from your hands and comb through, and you're looking for rips, which can happen somewhat easily because people do throw energy subconsciously out of, you know, rage or whatever. So just comb through and find rips, just with your intuition, with your imagination. And the point of this is to start repairing them, but also just as intuitive practice for sort of assessing your auras and seeing how they feel to you. The more you practice, the better you get at it, right? How do your auras feel to you? Do they feel strong enough in the back? Do they feel strong enough in the front, the side? What about around your head? What around your lower back? Do your auras feel strong enough and flowing enough? Because if they're too stuck and they have a lot of hard energy in them, then it's not very safe. They'll tear more easily, and you're more likely to have body discomfort. You have a lot of tightness in your auras in that area. So anyway, now let's repair the rips. So we'll repair them all at once. It's super easy. You just create an image of a rip, and with your intention, you say, okay, well, this rip represents all the rips in my 17 auras that I have right now, right? And then you want to clean out the rip and repair the rip. So you clean it out with sticky gold wax from your hands, and sticky gold wax is just gold light that with your intention, it sticks to everything that's not you and forms a big lump. So it's easy to remove a lot at once then. Angels, here you go. So sticky gold wax, Get rid of all the junk inside there. Angels, here you go. So what would that junk be? Invasive beings, invasive people, hard objects that got thrown and created the rip in the first place. So sticky gold wax. Get rid of all that junk. Angels, here you go. Sticky gold wax. Get rid of all that junk. Clean it out. Angels, here you go. So then now you should be able to get the gold light really deep in there. It should make really good contact with the ripped parts. And so they should start to repair nicely. You could say too, angels, if there are any invasive beings in the way of this healing work, can you please recycle them? Okay, so that probably repaired most of your rips, but you may have 1 or 2 left over. So we'll just do one more process for that. Same process, just a little faster. So make an image of rip, have it represent your leftover rips. And then sticky gold wax, get rid of the junk. Angels, here you go. Sticky gold wax, get rid of that junk. Angels, here you go. Get the gold light really deep in there. Ask the angels, angels, can you please recycle any invasive beings that are in the way of this repair? Maybe you missed a few hard objects, so grab those hard objects. Angels, here you go. Grab the hard objects. Angels, here you go. Deep breath as you work. All right. So then you can recreate your gold buffer zones. And those are just big gold force fields that you create that you attach to one at the edge of your physical body aura and one at the edge of your astral body aura. They're gold and flowing, and you just recreate them in a second when you need to, when they get damaged. And it's just a nice buffer for your aura. Gold mesh spheres. Sometimes I abbreviate that as GMS, gold mesh spheres, but they're those 15 Wei Qi auras. They're full of gold light, and how they're full of gold light is they have mesh spheres within them that generate the gold light. But those mesh spheres can get damaged, in which case they don't work so well. So just imagine all the auras and all those gold mesh spheres. There are, each gold mesh sphere has, each Wei Qi aura has 3 gold mesh spheres, so that's 45 of these things. So you don't have to count them out and do each one individually. Just, they're in the middle, the ones that are closest to your body, then the ones in the middle, then the ones that are the outermost Wei Qi aura gold mesh spheres. But just, lots of gold light, repair them all with your intention. You don't have to worry if your vision isn't great at all. Even if you see all black, that's fine. Just use your intuition, your intention. Lots of gold light. Just repair what's ripped up and clean off what's dirty and blocked. Above your head, around your head, around your shoulders, chest, tummy, lower back, around your hips, your legs, your ankles, your feet, arms, your elbows. Forget the elbows. And beneath your feet. All right. Oh, you could have leftover aura hardness, either at the edge or, a couple layers, like a patch of a couple layers of hardness, or even like what I call scar valleys in the Wei Qi auras, where it's like it's pushed to, there's this compressed part that looks like a valley. even when the aura is repaired. So we don't have to like, you know, spot it all visually perfectly. Just put copies of any aura hardness, leftover aura hardness from having aura damage. If there's any hardness left over, just make big piles of it. And say, angels, if there are any invasive beings hooked into this junk, can you recycle them? Deep breath. And then just melt all this aura hardness or blow it up. You can wash people's energy out of it. Maybe someone's corded to some of it. Wash everybody out and just blow it all up or keep melting it fully. Because for auras, hardness is weakness. Stuck energy is a weakness. It creates comfort, even physically, potentially. Makes the auras tear more easily. Someone throws energy at you. So you always want flow, 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 flow. All right. Good job, good job, good job. Okay, so again, we're going to work the creative rings, but also the 7th chakras. So your creative rings are up here, 1, 2, 3, and there are 3 gold rings. They generate gold light, which then can form a nice force field right there, but also it gets sent down to your major chakras along your spine, that gold light, which is nice. So, and then your 7th chakra is in your head, in the top of your head. It's oriented this way with the round opening at the bottom and the round opening at the top. Hopefully not white. Purple is a nice color for your 7th chakras, so you can set your 7th chakras to your favorite shade of purple. Or whatever shade of purple you want. It doesn't have to be, you know, just one you like for right now. And you can make a copy out in front of you of your 3 gold creative rings and your 7th chakras, and just unblock both of them at the same time. Melt the cords. They're very interrelated, your 7th chakra and your creative rings, just because, well, in part because your 7th chakra shoots energy upward into your 7th layer. So it has to shoot energy through the creative rings to then go into the 7th layer, which then goes down and comes all the way back up again, right? So if your creative rings are damaged or blocked, it makes it really hard for your 7th chakra to do its job. And also, then if someone can cord here because it's damaged, then they have too much access to your 7th chakra. So may as well work on both at once. So you want to melt away cords from people going into either your 7th chakras or your creative rings. Using cold light from your hands. Melt cords. Unblock. So like when I say unblock, you could have, you know, say this is the chakra, but it's obviously much, much bigger than the real 7th chakra. And ideally that would be purple. But, you know, you can have blocks here, blocks wrapped around it, blocks stuffed inside it. So just keep unblocking your 7th chakras. Unblock your creative rings. You don't want any junk around the rings. And your rings have flaps, just like the round openings of your chakras have flaps too. Around the round opening of a chakra. But so your rings have flaps too. And this is a drawing of one of your creative rings, like a top-down view of one of them with the flaps in an irritated state, which you don't want. But that's when they're noticeable, is when they pop out like that. So if you have cords going in, sending energy that's not yours into your creative rings, it gets irritated and they puff, the flaps puff out. which makes it easier for other people to cord you. So you don't want that, right? So just relax the creative rings by melting cords, getting people out of there. Again, you can say angels if there are any invasive beings in this area at all or in the way of this healing. Can you please recycle them? And just a lot of times you can have a very nice chain reaction where the flaps of your creative rings shut and then all down your spine, like all the flaps of your major chakras along your spine shut as well. That's really nice because it doesn't mean that a chakra can't do its job then and generate energy and have your energy flowing in and out. It just means it's harder for other people to cord the chakra if the flaps are shut that are around the round openings. So it's a really nice chain reaction. So you could have copies of all your major chakras out in front of you, 7 chakras, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They're all like orientation, like 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? So just relax the flaps on all your chakras, melt cords on all your chakras. So this is really a 7 through 1. Doing the flaps on all of them. So just melt cords. The angels, if there are any invasive beings in the way, can you recycle them? We will be doing chakra repair in the very next section, but you could pay a little bit of attention to that and send extra gold light if you feel like one of the chakras needs to be repaired. Again, unblock your creative rings, melt cords. If you have hard objects stuck in any of your major chakras or your creative rings, you can do sticky gold wax and have the wax stick to cords, invasive beings, invasive people, and hard objects. Just have that sticky gold wax stick to all that junk and move out the wax with the junk. Angels, here you go. More time, sticky gold wax, your creative rings, and all your major chakras. 7 astral and 7 physical. Have the wax stick to all that's not you, beings, people, hard objects. Move all that out all at once, all the junk. Angels, here you go. Hand it to your angels. And then you can just do a little extra repair now that all that junk is gone. Melt the cords. Let the flaps relax and fall shut. Couple deep breaths. All right, good job, good job, good job. Do some confetti to celebrate that one. Woohoo, great job. All righty. Okay, so we will now repair and unblock all your chakras at once. And when I say all, I mean major and minor. So 7 astral, 7 physical, those I consider major chakras. Those are the ones that, well, I would say that everyone knows about, but some people don't really know that you have physical and astral, like 2 sets of 7. So whatever, but those are the major chakras. And then the minor chakras include every other chakra you have in your body and your spirit. So that includes all these cool acupuncture points everywhere that are so, so cool. But also, like you have this chakra right here called I call it 4.5, chakra 4.5. Right? Your Kundalini chakra below your physical first chakra, all those extra chakras in your limbs and stuff. Cool. So we're going to repair and unblock all of them at once, all major and minor. So just make a copy out in front of you of, the basic chakra shape and just say with your intention, okay, well, this represents all my major and minor chakras of my body and spirit. And go ahead and repair and unblock it. You can bring up red earth energy if you want. Do a red earth energy soak. All your chakras. Gold light, melt cords. You can say, angels, if there are any invasive beings in the way of this healing, can you please recycle them? You might have some damage. The damage could look like little chunks missing, or scratches, or like some part is kind of crumbled up, or even like missing. Part of it could be kind of blown off. So just use cold light and repair. As far as unblocking, you can melt the blocks in place, but you can also lift up the blocks. So leave the chakra in place, the composite copy chakra in place, and lift out the blocks that are healthy and gentle to get rid of right now, and just melt them with lots of gold light until they're gone. Lift out those blocks. You could blow them up too. That's kind of fun if you're healing yourself. If you're healing someone else, I think it's too bossy to blow up their stuff. So just use gold light so that it's more like the person is letting it go as it melts. So lift up the blocks in your chakras that are healthy and gentle to get rid of. Melt them away with gold light. Lift up the blocks, melt them away with gold light. Lift up the blocks, melt them away with gold light. If there's anything that's not clearing, give it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with this? So we can do theme-based unblocking of chakras. And so you could lift out, like, how about focus? Focus isn't technically the theme today, but why not? Focus is really always helpful. So lift out any blocks in any of your chakras that are healthy and gentle to get rid of that would help you have more focus. So lift out the focus baggage from your chakras, melt it away with gold light, or blow it up. Lift out your focus baggage, melt it away with gold light, or blow it up. Lift out the focus baggage, melt it away, or blow it up. Okay, and then we'll do theme related. So how about for hearing angels and hearing the wiser parts of you? Lift out the baggage in the way of you hearing your angels and the wiser parts of you, and melt it away or blow it up. Lift out the baggage in the way of you hearing your angels or the wiser parts of you, melt it away or blow it up. Creative inspiration. Lift out the baggage in the way of you having more creative inspiration, melt the baggage or blow it up. Any creative inspiration baggage, lift it out, melt it or blow it up. Lift it out, melt it or... All right, good job. And then the last part of our theme is self-care. So you have your composite copy representing all your chakras, major and minor. Lift out baggage in the way of you doing self-care behaviors regularly. Lift that out and melt it away or blow it up. Any baggage, self-care baggage, we could call it. Lift it out, melt it away or blow it up. Okay, self-care baggage one more time. Anything in the way of you doing regular self-care, melt that away or blow it up. Extra gold light. Relax those flaps around the round openings of the chakras. So like here and here, you have flaps. And if they're irritated, they stick out. If they're relaxed, which is what we want, they're flush with the chakra. So it's just like a smooth thing. All the flaps are shut. So just relax those flaps. Melt cords and relax those flaps. Unblock the chakras enough so it's just flowy energy. There's no stuckness. Alrighty, good job, good job. Okay. So good karma windows, those are back here, and base of skull points are back here. So that's where we're going to work right now. It will help focus, but lots of things like sleep and just being present, lots of good things. So back here in you as a spirit, your astral body aura, you have these areas that I call good karma windows. And so they're shaped like this. There's a little bit of a structure to it. Each good karma window looks like this, but bigger than this. Maybe twice as big. But it doesn't really matter the size, because with a copy, you can make a small copy or a big copy. I figured out today. That's why I always draw it like either too big or too small when I try to draw them for you, because the copy can be giant or small. It doesn't matter, you know? So I never really think of the exact size until I'm trying to draw it for you. So anyway, you make a copy of all your good karma windows out in front of you. So you have 7 of them, 1 for each astral body aura layer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. So just make those good karma windows out in front of you, and just run gold light through them, unblock them. You can ground them in red earth energy. The color of each one would be the color of your energy in that astral layer. So if you do the rainbow system and you have your first chakra at red, second chakra at orange, yellow, green, light blue, deep blue, purple, then that's what the colors of these would be. Red, orange, yellow, red, orange, yellow, green, light blue, deep blue, purple. But you don't really have to worry about that. Just use lots of gold light, and your intention is you're washing out anything that's not you. You're repairing and unblocking. So you have flow and presence. Because it's like you're a fish, right? And so you can swim through water. Fish can swim through water. Fish can't swim through rock, right? So if you have solid blocked energy, you can't, it's very hard for you to be there. So you want flow so that you can be there. Wash out anything that's not you. You say, angels, if there are any invasive beings in this area, can you please recycle them? Take a few deep breaths while your angels do that. You can lift out energy blocks in that area and just melt them away or blow them up. Lift out energy blocks, melt them away or blow them up. So again, we're doing the good karma window areas right back here in your astral body aura layers. Lots of gold light. Lift out the blocks, melt them away with gold light. You can have hard objects stuck there too, so you lift out the blocks and the hard objects and melt them away. Lift out the blocks and the hard objects, melt them away. You could have some people, invasive people or invasive beings that are already woven in there, and so they're still sort of hanging on. So you can imagine any invasive beings or people that are woven in and kind of anchored in, you know, either the base of skull points or your major chakras, 7, 6, and 5, and 4, and just, you know, freeze their energy and drag it out. Angels, here you go. Freeze their energy. Angels, here you go. Freeze the energy, drag it out. Angels, here you go. All right, good job. So base of skull points, right there. So these are traditional Chinese medicine meridians in this diagram. I did not make this image. It's from a YouTube video that somebody else made. But I can link it below if someone needs it. But anyway, repair these meridians that you see right now, especially around the base of skull, with gold light. So each of these meridians, you know, on the diagram, they're, you know, they're different colors, so you can tell which is which meridian is which. But energy-wise, they should all be red and flowing. So you don't want them black, you don't want them white, you don't want them, you know, whatever. Just red is a really nice vibration for body stuff like meridians. So that so you can comb through these base of skull points and outward into the auras and gather up a bunch of energy blocks that are healthy and gentle to get rid of. The angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into this junk? Deep breath, and then just Lots of gold light, melt everybody out of all these blocks and melt the blocks fully or blow them up. Again, comb through your base of skull area and outward into the auras. Gather up all the energy blocks that are healthy and gentle to get rid of. Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into this junk? Deep breath. And then just wash everybody out. Melt their cords. And melt all these blocks or blow them up. Okay, good enough. Good enough for now. Good job, good job. Right. So we did the 5 essentials there, which we tend to do towards the start of every healing: grounding, or repair, creative ring repair, chakra repair, and then good karma window repair plus base of skull points. Those are the 5 essentials. So if you feel screwed up, that would be what I suggest you do for a go-to thing, is just, check some of those. If you only have like 30 seconds, well, check your grounding. That's the first one for a reason. It's very important. All right. Good job. Okay, so I think while we're clearing fear of change, it might be nice to have a little bit of kitten therapy at the same time, because kittens are comforting and we're clearing fear. So, maybe with comforting like this, we'll do more. We'll clear more. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so I already talked about this in the intro. There was a section about hearing angels, what we're going to do to help hearing angels, and clearing these fears would help with that and a lot of other things. Okay, so put out in front of you any general fear of change baggage that you have. It could be somebody else's baggage in your space. It could be your own baggage from this or past lives. Any baggage that causes you to fear change, even positive change. Just bring up red earth energy, soak the piles in red earth energy. You can say, angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this right now? And if not, your angels will get rid of some of it. And then you can say, too, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are stuck in this junk? Then lots of gold light, melt other people out of this fear of change baggage that you have. Melt their cords. Wash everybody out of here. That way you can clear stuff without triggering other people so much. You wash everybody out of the baggage first before you clear it. Okay, so as you wash everybody out, once they're out, then it should be pretty easy. Like they might just automatically melt, or you can just melt your own resistance out of the piles too. And then they might fully melt like that. Otherwise, you could blow them up. If you have any left over, just wrap it up in gold light. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. So now we'll do, we'll do a little more of that, but first, next, let's do clear fear of decision crossroads. So you can be at a crossroads, maybe just subconsciously, maybe consciously you knew it, but where you have to make a decision and your decision will change, your future a little bit, like, so just put out in front of you any baggage that causes you to fear these decision crossroads in life, big decision crossroads, little decision crossroads. Just any baggage that causes you to fear that stuff. And say, angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this right now? Couple deep breaths while your angels sort through it for you and get rid of anything that's too much for now. And then just red earth energy, soak the piles, bring red earth energy straight up from the core of the earth into the piles, and use gold light. Get everyone out of your piles so that they are not as disturbed when you are clearing your own baggage. Just clear them out first. Get them out of the baggage, melt their cords, melt your own resistance out of this baggage. And just keep melting it until it all just is gone, or, you blow it up. If there's any left over that's not clearing, just wrap it up in gold light and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. All right. So then now we'll do all of it at once. So we'll do a little bit extra. So let's clear grounding first, though. Just make sure grounding is really flowing, because it's easy for things to block up a little as you're doing work. And the more you unblock and get more present again, the more you can clear more, and it's still healthy and gentle. So just imagine your groundings out in front of you and unblock them. Wash everybody out of them. Again, it's less disturbing to other people if they're not in your space when you are changing. So wash everybody out of your auras, your chakras, your groundings. Get that nice, strong downward flow, like a big, super powerful waterfall. All throughout your grounding, all the way down to the core of the earth. Melt away the blocks. Sweep together the energy blocks in your grounding and melt them away. Sweep them together, melt them away. Sweep them together, melt them away. You say, angels, if there's any invasive beings in the way of this healing, can you please recycle them? Okay, so now we'll do one more all together. So just put out in front of you any fears that it's in your space affecting you. It could be yours, could be from other people even. Just any fear of change, any fear of decision crossroads. So put all that out in front of you and just say, angels, can you, is all this healthy and gentle to clear right now? Deep breath while your angels sort through that for you. So that means that they're going to take away something that's too much to do right now, so that anything left over is healthy and gentle to clear right now. So then you can go ahead and run gold light through it. You can say to angels, if there's any invasive beings hooked into this junk, can you please recycle them? Lots of gold light, and finish melting the piles or blow them up. Wash everybody out. Wash out your own resistance out of the piles. And if you have any left over, just wrap it up in gold light. Give it to your angels. Say, angels, can you help me with this? All right. Good job. Good job. So now let's do flower healing. So it's I suggest to do it right after you clear the fear, just to nourish too, right? So nourish with flower healing, right? So let's do that. So just you're going to create some energy healing flowers for yourself out of universal gold light or universal healing energy. So it could be gold or rainbow colors or both, whatever. But just don't think about the color too much. Just use your intention and just make a bunch of energy healing flowers for yourself. Just the right vibration so that you feel safe. You feel comforted, and your safety, your literal safety and spiritual safety is actually enhanced by this healing energy, right? So you're just going to strengthen and nourish yourself for safety. And just make as many healing flowers as you think you might need. And then just say, angels, can you double check my flowers? So then they'll help tune the vibration even more. And then give them to yourself and just let yourself absorb them. Have some deep breaths. We'll do that again. Make energy healing flowers for yourself. They help nourish you so that you have more courage, you feel more safe, and you literally are more safe. Just make a lot of energy healing flowers and just say, angels, can you check my flowers? And then give them to yourself. Deep breath, let yourself receive your own healing for your safety and your courage. All right, good job. Woohoo, yay. Good job, good job, good job. Woohoo. Kittens and glitter. Oh my, how wonderful. You can let me know in your surveys or in the comments now if kitten therapy helped you clear more fear or not. I think it might have helped me. So maybe this will help with the next thing that we're going to do. This backdrop. Maybe. We'll see. So, oh, it doesn't help the visibility of that border. There we go. All right. So telepathic mesh is the next thing we're going to do. Let me change. Hearing angel. Okay. So we just did clearing fear to help you hear angels better, because sometimes they can be telling you about changes that you need to make and that might trigger fear. So if you clear the fear, you're more able to hear what they're saying without getting too triggered. But telepathic mesh is also good for hearing angels and just having more peace of mind, just all that sort of sound boundaries stuff. So telepathic mesh is a gold, flowy part of your 5th layer of your aura. It's right here in front. You can just use lots of gold light and repair it and unblock it. You can make a copy out in front of you, but the copy out in front of you is almost right where the actual telepathic mesh is. So it's up to you whether you want to just heal your actual exact telepathic mesh or just make a copy of it. The copy could be bigger or smaller, so that might be a positive thing for you. If you make it really big, maybe you can notice some defects that you wouldn't otherwise notice. So you can make your giant copy of your telepathic mesh if you want. Kind of fun. So you want to melt cords from other people going into this telepathic mesh. Of course, ask your angels, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings messing with my sound boundaries, including messing with my telepathic mesh? Maybe you have hard objects stuck in your telepathic mesh. You can pop them out, have them explode, and then just repair the damage. You might have energy blocks in front of your telepathic mesh from people that were trying to silence you or didn't like what you were saying. So just melt the energy blocks if you have any in front of your telepathic mesh. Get rid of that copy if you were using a copy. All right, good job. Good job, good job. Okay, so with this, we're going to clear abuse blocks. I talked about this already. It's a repeat from the last healing we did, the third healing in the triplet set this month, because it worked really well and it's easy. So why not? Put out in front of you any abuse blocks that you have. Even the ones you think are too much, you could just put them way out in front of you. And make 2 piles. One pile is the ones that you think are healthy and gentle to clear right now. And then the other pile or piles is ones that you feel like is too much to do right now. And we're going to have angels check the piles, so don't worry. But yeah, so make 2 sections or 2 piles, sort them out. Good to clear right now, too much to clear right now, right? And say, angels, can you double check my piles? Right? And then just take some deep breaths while your angels double check your sorting and fix it. And then say, angels, for the too much piles, say, angels, can you please help me store these away? So that way, it's safer and more stable than just repressing them yourself without angel help. Okay, so then your angels took those away that were too much. So that means the abuse blocks that are still left out in front of you are the ones that are healthy and gentle to clear right now. So you can do it however you want, but what you can do first is ask the angels to recycle invasive beings hooked into this junk. So angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into any of this junk? Deep breath while your angels do that. And then just lots of gold light, wash everybody out of this junk, because abuse baggage is definitely something that people might be courting, like lots and lots and lots of people, subconsciously. And they really don't mean anything bad by it typically. It's really, unless you're like a particularly good therapist, trained like psychologist or psychotherapist, or, somebody like me. Even somebody like me, I could be accidentally courting somebody's pain. So just wash everybody out of these abuse blocks, and then just keep using gold light until they melt fully. Wash your own resistance out of them. You can also blow them up at this point too if you want. but only if you're healing yourself. And if you have any left over, just wrap them up, give them to your angels. Angels, can you help me with these? Okay, so we'll double check grounding, and we'll do that again faster. Okay, so double check your groundings, make a copy out in front of you of both your groundings, wash them out. You could test the colors, what helps you release the best. Red groundings, test orange groundings for yourself, test yellow groundings for yourself, see which helps you release the most at this time. Stick with that one, whichever of the 3 colors worked best for you. And then we'll do it again. Just put out in front of you abuse baggage that you have in your space. It could be from other people, but it's in your space, you know, so it could be from past lives. Doesn't matter. Just all your abuse baggage put out in front of you and sort it into 2 piles. One pile is A-okay to clear right now, would be healthy and gentle for you. You could still be fully functional and fine afterwards. And the other pile or piles is too much to clear right now. It would be too big, you know, not baby step approved. Right? And then say, angels, can you double check my piles? And just take some deep breaths while your angels double check your sorting ability. See if you were over motivated or under motivated. And then say, angels, can you help me with angel storage for the stuff that's too much for right now? And then, so then out in front of you is only the healthy and gentle stuff. That stuff that's healthy and gentle to clear right now. Abuse baggage is healthy and gentle to clear right now. So just wash everybody out of it though, right? And as you wash everybody out, you also want to get rid of the invasive beings. So ask your angels to do that. Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into this junk? And just wash everybody out of this abuse baggage. And just keep melting it so it's fully gone, or blow it up. And if you have any left over, just wrap it in gold light and give it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with this? All right, great job, great job, great job. We'll do some butterflies to celebrate how fabulous you are. Yay! Woohoo! Good job, good job. All righty. Okay, so this one I've talked about. It is now, as of yesterday, its own 3-minute video. Invasive people room melt floor is the technique. And it's easy and fun to get people out of your space this way. So let's do it. So you just imagine a room and it represents your space, you know, your auras, your chakras, blah, blah, blah. Right? It represents your space, and you see in the room the people that are in your space. So even if you didn't know they're in your space, you're going to see them in this room. Okay. So these are the people in your space, the people that you see in this room. You don't have to know who they are. You could just little forms of people. That's fine. And then also the invasive beings that are in your space are in this room, right? So then you just say, angels, can you recycle all the invasive beings that are in this room. Deep breath. And then the people, how you get the people out of your space is maybe more fun even. The floor of the room represents the energy blocks that those people cord to send their energy into your space. So by melting the floor, you're melting those energy blocks that enable these people to get in your space in the first place. So as you melt these energy blocks, which is the floor of the room, then the people pop out of your space. So go ahead, melt away the floor. And then the floor melts and the people pop out, and now you don't have them in your space. Yay! Good job. Right? So that's invasive people melt floor technique. So we'll do it again fast in case there are one or two more clever people that are still in there. So imagine your invasive people room. Who's in there? Just say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in this room? And then the people, to get them out, you melt the floor, melt the baggage that causes these people to be able to get in your space. Just melt the baggage so that as the floor melts, the people pop out of your space. Yay! So the floor melts, the people pop out, and you're happier. So you can get rid of that copy. Great job. Okay, so now we're moving on to working self-care. And it's kind of a funny twist to the invasive people room melt floor technique. We're going to have a self-care room. So this room will represent your ability to take regular self-care actions like a relaxing bath or going to bed on time or drinking enough healthy liquids during your day, which by the way, I should do. Or maybe getting on the treadmill or, doing some free weights at home or stretching on your floor or, whatever, taking some deep breaths, any like self-care stuff, listening to calming music, whatever you need to do. Right. So sometimes you have baggage in the way of that, and we'll get to clearing that out. But sometimes you have people in your space, and the effect of that makes you not do this self-care. So let's get them out, right? So this time you imagine a room that represents who's in your self-care space, right? And you see the people in the room, those are the people in your self-care space blocking you up from doing self-care action, right? So who's in your self-care room? And it can include invasive beings. So you say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in this room? And then to get the people out of your self-care room, you melt the floor again. The floor represents the baggage in your space that allowed these people to get in the first place, right? So melt the floor so that once the floor melts, the people pop out of your self-care space. So the floor melts, the people pop out, and hopefully you're definitely more likely to do self-care behaviors in your actual daily life. All right, so one more time, invasive people self-care room. So if there are any invasive people blocking up your self-care space, you're going to see them in this room. Imagine them in this room and the beings. So angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in this room? Deep breath. And then to get the people out, melt the floor, right? The floor represents the baggage that enables these people to be in your self-care space. So melt the baggage. So they can't cord, so they can't be in your self-care space. Melt the baggage. There you go. So the floor melts, the people pop out of your self-care room. Now you are more likely than you were before to do some self-care. Go, go, go. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. And remember, growth is incremental. So, if you're not training for the triathlon today, try something smaller. Find a baby step that is enough that you'll actually do it. Even if it's a couple deep breaths. All right. So that was invasive people self-care room technique. See. So let's change the scenery a little bit here. Again. Bring back the kittens. Bring back the kittens. Kittens, kittens, kittens. There we go. Okay, so we're going to do two things now. First, we'll clear self-care baggage. And then, any baggage in the way of you doing regular self-care in your actual daily life now and tomorrow and the next day. And we'll do healing flowers to help you nourish and strengthen yourself so that, again, you're more likely to do self-care. And again, growth is incremental. So baby steps, what can you do now? It's not about being perfect this second, right? So put out in front of you any baggage in the way of you doing real self-care in your real daily life, really this week. And so what baggage is in the way of you doing baby step self-care progress? And say, angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this right now? Deep breath while your angels double check. Maybe they'll take out something if you put too much there. And then you could, you can say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are hooked into this junk? Maybe there's some little drama beings in there. So angels will recycle all them. And then maybe there are some people hooked into your self-care baggage. And so wash them out with gold light from your hands. Wash out those people in the piles of baggage. Wash everybody out. Maybe they have good intentions. Maybe they don't. It doesn't matter. I'll just wash everybody out of the baggage because that'll make it much more likely that you really thoroughly clear all the baggage. And two, you don't want to get backlash from having a big ripple effect in someone else's space. So if you wash them out first, then they're not going to have much of a ripple effect in their space. So wash them out, get them out of the baggage, get everyone out of your self-care baggage, any self-care baggage that's in your space. And then now you can blow up the baggage or continue to melt it fully with gold light from your hands. So go ahead, melt your self-care baggage or blow it up. And if there's any left over, you can wrap it up in gold light and hand it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with this? All right. So we'll unblock our grounding and then do that again quickly. So imagine both your groundings. You can recreate them if you want, make them big and wide, as high as your third chakra, which is right below your sternum. Bring your groundings up that high. Make them go all the way down to the core of the earth. Have them be both the same color, red or orange or yellow, your groundings. And comb through your groundings with gold light from your hands. Comb through your groundings. Melt away the blocks. You want to be able to let go, release, release, release. Right? It's okay to let go. Unblock your grounding. Wash everybody else out of your grounding. You deserve to be able to get as much earth energy as you need and to let go of whatever you need to let go of. Right? So now we'll do clearing self-care baggage again quickly. So just put out in front of you copies of any self-care baggage that you have in your space. Doesn't matter who it's from. Maybe it's from this life, from past lives. Doesn't matter, right? All your self-care baggage. And then just say, angels, can you double check my piles to make sure this is healthy and gentle to clear right now? That way, if there's too much to clear today, your angels will get rid of some of it for you temporarily. And then the next thing you ask your angels is, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are hooked into this junk? Just in case there's some invasive beings trying to make some drama. Have your angels get rid of them. Deep breath, and then just wash everybody out of your piles, right? Melt their cords, wash everybody's energy out, and wash your own resistance out of these piles so that the baggage melts fully. Or you can blow it up too, just so it's fully gone. You want to melt all this baggage away, right? And then any that's left over, wrap up in gold light, give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Okay, so that was clearing self-care baggage. So now we'll do energy healing flowers for self-care. So just, you don't have to move your hands like I do. I just like that, but you can just create them out in front of you without moving your hands. But just think energy healing flowers out of universal healing energy, gold light or rainbow colors, doesn't matter. And just use your intention, make just the right vibration of energy healing flowers to nourish you and support you so that you're more likely to do self-care. So make a lot of energy healing flowers for yourself, tune them to a nice healthy vibration for you, and say, angels, can you double check my flowers? And then give yourself those. Okay, we'll do that one more time fast. So make your energy healing flowers to help you with your self-care, help you nourish yourself, help you forgive yourself, right? So because you're not perfect. So make as many energy healing flowers as you need for yourself. The angels, can you double check my flowers? And give them to yourself. Just a couple deep breaths. Remind yourself it's okay to receive. It's okay to make baby step progress with your self-care. All right, good job, good job. Woohoo, yay, good for you. Yay, woo. All right. Mhm. Okay. So we're going to do 2 more sections and then we're going to wrap up, but they'll be quick. So change of seasons. Sometimes, you might have a favorite season, you might have a least favorite season of the year, but whether or not it's your favorite, it's a change. It's an energy shift. The Earth's energy is a little different for each season. Well, not a little, probably a lot different for each season. So adjusting to that shift might be a little challenging sometimes. So we're going to work on that right now. We'll clear baggage that's making it harder for you to shift gears between the last season and then the season that you're entering. And we'll also nourish with flower healing to help you to make the transition in the best way possible for you. So in this case, when I'm doing this video right now, it's doing this live stream right now, we're shifting from winter to spring. And many people have already shifted, but you may feel like you're kind of lagging in that, either mentally, psychologically, or productivity wise. Maybe there's some spring tasks that you're just really not about to get to. So hopefully this will help you to adjust more quickly and gracefully. So, and you can do this for any change of season shift. Okay. So put any baggage out in front of you. Just imagine copies of whatever baggage you have that's making it harder for you to shift gracefully between, the past season and the current season. So just put out in front of you any baggage that's making you maybe less productive or making you enjoy less the new season. Okay, and put all that baggage out in front of you and just say, angels, can you double check this baggage? Is it healthy and gentle to clear right now? That way, if there's anything that's too much that you put out there, your angels will get rid of it for now. Couple deep breaths. So then you can also ask your angels, can you please recycle any invasive beings that are hooked into this junk? Because you may have a couple beings trying to make some drama hooking into your baggage. This way it'll be no drama. Okay, and then you wash people out of this baggage too. That's another good way to have no drama. Wash everybody out because you want to be able to clear your baggage and move forward and be graceful as in the new season, shifting into the new season. But it could be too big of a ripple effect for someone else if they're in your space while you're doing it. So just wash everybody out of this baggage, melt their cords going into the baggage, melt them out. And you could bring up red earth energy, soak the baggage in red earth energy, wash your own resistance out of this baggage. So we could call this change of season baggage, wash your own energy out of this change of season baggage. And then just keep using gold light to fully melt it, gold light from your hands, or blow it up, blow up the baggage, just as long as it's gone, fully gone. All right. And if there's any left over, you can wrap it up in gold light and hand it to your angels. Say, angels, can you help me with this? Okay, so we'll do that one more time quickly. But first, we'll clear our groundings. So just imagine both your groundings. Clean out your groundings. We'll do that quickly. Imagine both your groundings. Make them big and wide, all the way down to the core of the earth. Use gold light from your hands. Make sure you're unblocking your grounding. Get everybody out. Melt the blocks. Okay, so then one more time, put out in front of you change of season baggage that you have. Anything that's keeping you less productive or less gracefully shifting and moving into your new season, right? So put all that change of season baggage out in front of you. Angels, can you double check? Make sure this is all healthy and gentle to clear right now. Deep breath. And then ask your angels, can you please recycle any invasive beings hooked into this junk? And then melt everybody out of your baggage. Very easy for people to accidentally, subconsciously cord your baggage. So melt them all out. And melt yourself out, your own resistance, your own fears, your own self-judgment. Melt all that out. And you can keep using gold light until the pile fully melts or just blow it all up. And if you have any left over, wrap it up in gold light, hand it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with this? All right, good job. So then now let's do the flower healing part of it. So make energy healing flowers. You can move your hands or not, whatever you prefer, but make out of universal healing energy all sorts of energy healing flowers for yourself and set them. Have them be gold light or rainbow colors or both. You don't have to so much worry about the color, but set them at the right vibration to nourish and strengthen yourself so that you can gracefully move into the new season. surf the energy shift nicely. So tune your flowers so they're just right for you to help nourish and support you and strengthen you. And then say, angels, can you double check my flowers? And then give them to yourself. And breathe in, remind yourself it's okay to heal, it's okay to receive. Okay, let's do that again. Make energy healing flowers for yourself, ones that are just right to help you with this seasonal shift. And say, angels, can you double check my flowers? And then give them to yourself. Let them go wherever they need in your space. Couple deep breaths. All right, great job. Woohoo! So you could pat yourself on the back. That was a very good job. And we could celebrate with some butterflies if I can find them. There we go. Here's some butterflies for you. All right. Good job, good job, good job. Woohoo! Oh, that's funny. Okay. Alrighty, so now we're going to clear blocks that it can help you in a lot of ways, like with productivity, but it can also help with creative inspiration. Because sometimes you don't want to be conscious of an idea if you're not really ready to do it, you know? And so what can be in the way of you doing something, you know, new and exciting? It could be that you're stuck waiting for somebody to do something, waiting for an event to happen, waiting for the world to be peaceful. Good luck. You know, whatever you're waiting for. So there can be, we could call that unhealthy waiting. Right? Because there is some things that are just logical timing, you know, so you should wait for this event to happen before you do this. You know, some of it's logical, right? But the unhealthy stuff, that's what we're going to be clearing. Any unhealthy waiting, any baggage that causes you to unhealthy wait. weight in an unhealthy way. And also procrastination blocks, just any baggage that causes you to procrastinate procrastination is already unhealthy. All right, cool. So put out in front of you any waiting blocks, like any blocks that cause you to wait in an unhealthy way, to wait before you do something, wait before you're happy, wait before you are nice to yourself, whatever. Any waiting baggage and any procrastination baggage that you have, right? So make maybe tons of piles out in front of you of all your waiting baggage and your procrastination baggage. And just say, angels, is all this healthy and gentle and clear right now? It might be, but this way your angels will make sure. And they'll get rid of anything that's too much for now. And then also ask your angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are hooked into this junk? Just so then it's no drama to clear it all. Deep breath. And then just wash everybody out of these piles. So it could be all sorts of people stuck in your waiting blocks and procrastination blocks. So wash them out. That way they can procrastinate if they want, more or less than you or whatever. Like it's not about them. You don't want to have to, get a consensus from everybody you've ever met in order to move forward, right? So just wash everybody out of your baggage first. That way they're not really having a say in it, and they're not likely to be so triggered by what you're clearing. Wash them out first, right? Wash everybody out and get rid of their cords, and then wash yourself out of the piles too. Your own fears, your own resistance, your own judgment, and just keep using gold light until all this baggage melts. Or if it's more fun, you could just blow it all up at this point. All right, great job. Woo! So then I think that's good on that. Okay, so now we'll wrap up. So we'll just do a little bit of adjusting and grounding and combing through and stuff, including tuning your energy in your tree trunk areas. So tree trunk areas are above your head, and then all your major joints. So like shoulders, hips, knees, ankles, elbows, wrists, all that good stuff. So, and I call it a tree trunk because it kind of looks that way. If invasive energy comes down, there's the trunk above your head, and then the root flare at the base of the tree, it's like it branches out and anchors into major joints. So if we unblock your major joints that I named, shoulders, elbows, wrists, above your head to melt those blocks with gold light from your hands, and then shoulders, hips, knees, ankles. Shoulders, hips, knees, ankle. Lots of gold light. Melt the blocks. In these areas, you want to be very present. You want to be present everywhere, but these areas are more key to be in. And you can think about, well, what is your energy like in here? Do you have like stored up arguments from other, arguments you've had with people in here? Do you have some kind of repressed emotions in here? What do you have in your joints? Because you want just your flowy life force, right? Flow is very important, especially for joints, right? You want good flow in your joints, right? So just wash everybody out. You want flowy, flowy, flowy energy, right? You can even imagine like gold gold grease maybe sounds gross, you know, but like gold oil or something, you know, in your joints, just flowy, flowy, flowy joints, right? Only your energy, nice flowy joints. Right? So just wash everybody out, including above your head though too. You can say, angels, if there are any invasive beings messing with my tree trunk areas, can you please recycle them? So gold, flowy energy in your joints. So oil your joints with gold energy, right? Get them nice and flowy. Shoulders, hips, knees, ankles, elbows. I love the elbows. Wrists. Nice flowy gold light. Right? And tune the energy in your tree trunk areas. Move out the blocks in your tree trunk areas that are healthy and gentle to get rid of. Just melt them away. Move out the blocks in your tree trunk areas. Melt them away. Move out the blocks. Melt them away. Again, if angels, if there are any invasive beings messing with my tree trunk areas, can you please cycle them? You can make an extra grounding for the base of skull area. We did base of skull points earlier. Oh, I didn't tell you to make a nice red grounding straight from the core of the earth just for your base of skull area. That's really bring up red earth energy, soak your base of skull points. And it just helps you to let go of any blocks that you need to from that area all the way down to the core of the earth. Nice, nice, nice. And just check out all your major chakras. Maybe align them. Aligning chakras, the way I use that word is it's pretty simple. You just heal them and unblock them enough so that they click into place. So they're all your 7 major chakras are kind of humming along, working together. Because some of them, they can get whacked out of alignment. They could be over a little bit or just disoriented, so they're spun around a little. So just melt everybody out and get them nice and aligned. Ah. Boy, oh boy. So maybe one more clearing STEBs. Just put any triggered energy blocks out in front of you. Triggered by something I said, triggered by your life, triggered by politics, triggered by anything, right? And just say, angels, is it okay to clear all this right now? Deep breath. And then just say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into this junk? And then wash everybody out of this baggage. Wash your own resistance out of this baggage so that you can melt it fully. Anything that's left over, just wrap it up in gold light. Give it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with this? All right. So as we wrap up, you can ask the angels to help you wrap up. Just say, angels, can you help me wrap up this healing? Deep breath. You can ask the angels for help with this theme. Angels, can you help me be a better listener and listen to my angel advice and listen to the wiser parts of me? Angels, can you help me with my creative inspiration? And angels, can you help me with my self-care? All right, good job. That's a healing. You're amazing. Woo, yay. All righty. So now Okay, so I will take a quick break. So I'm gonna get rid of the camera so you can see this nice view better. And I will be right back. And after I come back and do a moment of stretching, then we can do a little chit chat. So if you have comments about the healing, how the healing was for you, that could be interesting. If you have comments about the theme, the 3-part theme, that could be interesting. If you have a comment about anything I said, that's fine. If you, rather than having me read you, if you could self-assess and post that, then I could double check your self-assessment. So for example, oh, I've been getting headaches and I still have one right now. I think it's, my mother whacking me, and I think I have some damaged meridians in the back of my head. What do you think? And then I would double check your read on it. Because it's like ideally you want to practice assessing your issue and specifically what can you do about it as a self-healer. Okay. So that's that. That's what we will be doing for a half hour once we get back and finish stretching. Stretching will be just a minute. It won't be guided. You can just do your own stretching. All right. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm just going to stretch for a moment. It's not guided, but you could stretch on your own if you want, just, whatever's gentle enough for you. Okay. Okay, hello, hello, hello. Thank you for waiting. Hope maybe you took a break too and you enjoyed it. So I'm setting my timer for 30 minutes so that I'll know when to wrap up. All right. Self-assessment validation. Okay. Let's change the photo. What should we have? Maybe we'll try. Oh, that could be interesting. That's kind of nice. That is that's bean leaves. I had a bean plants that had especially pretty leaves. So that's from that. Those were the purple beans that I grew 2 years ago, I think. Some of you might remember. They weren't the tastiest, but they looked very cool. The flowers were purple, the leaves were awesome looking, and the beans were pretty good. You had to pick them before they got too big, though. Our favorite beans, like, you can wait as long as you want, and they still taste great. They're very procrastination friendly. Okay. Enough about beans, which I need to start actually soon indoors. Alrighty, let's see. I'm looking for the comments I haven't yet read. Let me see. Someone says you're an excellent energy healer and your work is wonderful. Oh, well, thanks. That's very kind of you to say. Thanks for all the nice emojis. Someone's nice emojis, maybe because of they liked the kitten photo. I'm glad you liked it. Someone's rocking the turtle emojis, which look very cool. I love turtles. I love sea turtles. I love land turtles. I love turtles. Someone says, hi, Janet. LOL. I'm in such a bad mood. I can't wait for this healing. That's interesting. So if you're still in a bad mood by the end, you can post a self-assessment. Oh, you did do that. Okay, I'll read it later. I'll get to it. All right, let's see. Someone else says, I've been teary all week. Yes, you said that before. Hope the healing helped. You can also post a self-assessment as to why you think that was, and I'll double check your self-assessment if you want. Someone, I think that's a healer emoji, but it could be like a thank you emoji. I'm not really sure what that emoji means. Someone says, shared with my mom in West Lynn, Oregon. Well, hello to your mom in West Lynn, Oregon. A fellow PNWer. I'm assuming West Lynn, Oregon is on the west part of the state, but what do I know? Maybe it's not. I should look it up because you keep mentioning it. So I'll look up West Lynn, Oregon. So in the future, I know where West Lynn, Oregon is. West Lynn, Oregon. Okay. Someone, oh, you see little emojis. Thank you so much. Kitten therapy is great. Oh, good. I'm glad people are liking it. I was wondering if people would be like, oh, she's such a child. But I guess those people have left me long ago. Anyone that's still around has an active inner child part of themselves. This is, thanks, Janet. Have to dip out a little early. The fear clearing helped me. Oh, good. I feel less triggered. For my new job / move, I've been looking at this as a separate spiritual path. Seems like on the, oh, I see what you're saying. There we go. I got it. There was a hair on the mic and it was like itching my. All right. Anyway, seems like on that path, there's a lot of your mom's energy blocking your confidence. I was going to clear confidence baggage in general and affecting my path. Looks like I'm moving forward, but need help. How's my assessment? Okay. So if you make a spiritual path that represents your progress in manifesting your new job and move, and you're saying there's a lot of your mom's energy on the path, and your intuition was like, okay, it released my confidence, so I'm gonna clear the path and I'm gonna work my clearing confidence baggage. If I look at a spiritual path that represents your progress, well, your, what you could do as far as, manifesting your new job and move, it does look a bit weird. Like there's these big, tall, white mountains on either side that kind of narrow. So there's like, it doesn't seem like there's much of a way forward. It's like, goes into like a corner, like you're facing the corner of a room or something. Like someone told you to face the corner of the room. So the question is, are those mountains, that corner, the mountains that form this corner that you're facing on your path, is that your mom's energy? I don't think so. Is that confidence baggage? No. Is it fear? It's fear-ish. Is it self-esteem baggage? No. Is it... You could just do chakras. Okay, does it relate to the 7th chakra, 6th chakra, 5th chakra, 4th chakra? It seems 4th chakra. 3rd chakra, no. 2nd chakra, no. 1st chakra, yeah. So I would say 4th and 1st. So 4th is, self-love. So it kind of makes me think of like, fear of rejection. Like you're afraid that your mom will disown you if you move across country and, she's so displeased with you. So is that your fear of your mom disowning you? Yeah, it looks like that. Fear of like rejection, fear of being without social ties too. It's funny, my husband and I talk about that sometimes because we moved from Chicago to Washington State, which is, halfway across this giant country of the United States. And I think it was like 2,000 miles to move or something like that. And a lot of people were like, before the move, they're like, oh, do you have family out there? And I was like, no. I was like, I don't know. With him and I, we don't really have family. So we just, whatever. It's just he and I and whatever, random friends maybe. But we're not rooted socially in the same way that most people are, which maybe is healthy or maybe it's unhealthy. I guess with our genetic families, it was healthy. So we didn't think about that. But I think for a lot of people, that is a thing. Like if you move to places where you don't know somebody, like that's a real thing for people. Like it triggers a lot of fear, a lot of, fear of like social abandonment or, whatever, so there could be past lives, I mean, in past lives, they didn't have the internet. They didn't have, I mean, now you can move somewhere that has good internet, you pay your utilities, you rent a place or you own and, you're fine. Right. But, maybe in a past life, you could be eaten by bears or something, and you would need, your neighbors to, teach you some vital skill about the area or who knows, So I would say it seems like fear of social isolation, either from your family or just in general, not physically being around friends. So it's like a 4th chakra, 1st chakra thing. So you can work that. Melt the walls, melt the mountain walls, and just clear social, any fear. It seems like fear, but also like social connection, loneliness type baggage. I hope that helps. So yeah, I mean, your self-assessment wasn't that bad. It was partially related to your mom, that's for sure. And good idea to look at it as a spiritual path. That's interesting. All right. Hope that helps. Thanks for the pretty emojis. Someone says, hi, thank you for your valuable healing. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad you liked it. I hope you liked it. Someone, more emojis. Thank you, Janet. You're welcome. This is thanks. Oh, this is the person who before said that they felt angry. So now after the healing, they say, I feel less angry and better mood. Still a little mad at your spouse for spending related issues. Suspect still courting each other. Not sure what else. Yeah, so sometimes if you're still mad at somebody, but less so, I mean, there could still be some damage from like whatever whack fest you guys participated in with each other. So you could look at like, okay, initially when you were really pissed, how much damage did you have in your space? And then now how much damage do you have? Because there could be some leftover damage. And, it's a natural response to be pissed when you're, half your auras are torn to shreds, by somebody. It's like, and of course, maybe to help quell your anger a little, maybe you could notice what you did to the other person. Because maybe that might, because if you only see what they did to you, then maybe you feel like it kind of gets you stuck in this whole, how dare they kind of a space. Whereas if you notice like, okay, yeah, I whacked them so hard that every major chakra they had major cracks in it, which is true. But I guess if you guys are going to have a big blowout, better to do it right before the healing so you both get healed. So good timing, you guys. That was funny. So I guess the question is you still being pissed, a little pissed because of still some damage or something else or some courting you said? So being able to see if someone's courting you or you're courting them, you just imagine a blob for you, a blob for them. And you, if you have to, put your hands in between and just see, are there cords that you're kind of dragging around in between you two, and then just melt your end of it. So yeah, I would say cords as well. There are some cords still, but also some damage. So you can finish up healing from that little experience. And you could say too, angels, can you please give my spouse a little bit of extra help repairing? Because it looks like your whacks were more effective than his were. Maybe just because you meditate regularly, though. You probably sent an equal amount of punishment to each other. It's just yours going to him created more damage than his going to you. And for the record, for people who are new to me, I never recommend whacking. Obviously, it could be a subconscious accident, but it's good to clear like pent up repressed anger, just so that you're less likely to whack somebody and you're less likely to whack them really hard, because it's bad karma to whack people, even if they started it. Even if they did something really bad first. Alrighty, so good luck with that. But you're very experienced, so I'm not worried about you. Okay. Someone says, thanks, Janet. Coming in late to the live stream. Feel better than when I woke up. Self-assessment was there were some beings messing with me. Got better when I asked angels to recycle them. No people. I see. So your issue is that when you woke up, you didn't feel so great. So I guess your question is, why didn't you feel so great when you woke up? Your sleep side looks nice, so it wasn't a sleep side issue. Sleep side is the route that you take to and from the astral. You can imagine it as a slide and see if there are a lot of blocks on it or not, but yours is nicely unblocked, so that's not the reason. Why did you feel weird when you woke up? So there's your physical body energy system and there's your astral body energy system, right? So sometimes you can get damaged. Your astral body can get damaged in your sleep or before you go to sleep, but then you fix it all in your sleep, so you're totally fine before you wake up. But sometimes maybe you get damaged like right before you wake up, or in a way that your angels are like, no, you should consciously see that and fix it in your conscious, so they don't fix it all when you're asleep. So then you just check both systems. Like, was my physical body system pretty messed up, or was my astral body system pretty messed up, or was it both? And when did it happen? Did it happen while I was on the astral? Did it happen while my physical body was sleeping? Or did it happen as I was waking up? I got a whack to both. So like read which one and the timing of it, just to learn. As far as beings versus people, I don't really think that matters as much as looking at the mechanics of your space and what was damaged. Were there hard objects? Was there, what was going on with your flow? I think sometimes maybe you focus just a little too much on who's doing it versus like your flow and your boundaries. I mean, I think it's important if you, because sometimes you get into these chronic things with certain people that you work with. So in that case, yeah, it's good to know, because then you can look at, okay, well, what are you doing that is triggering these people? But in this case, you could just look for damage, I think. Where was the damage that caused you to feel so weird? I don't think beings would be a big issue if you didn't have damage, So I hope that helps. Okay. Someone says, thank you for the break. Oh, you liked it too. That's nice. Yes, you're welcome. My new self-care thing to allow myself to use the restroom in between a giant live stream when I'm hydrating. Someone says, hi, Janet. Thank you for the healing and teaching. How did my hubby do, who also got the healing? He was having a headache before and after the healing, not a self-assessment, but I thought he could be more flowing after the healing. Yeah, he must have pissed somebody off. He's got like an axe going into the back of his head. Like a hard object, but it looks like a big axe handle, just like a chunky axe blade, like right back there. It's a lot smaller now than it was. I just pointed it out to him and said he could have his angels help him with it. So they've been trying to help him with it, but he's just so caught up in different personal dramas that he wasn't letting them. So now he's gonna stop just spinning around mentally and just let them finish fixing up back here. I think sometimes he's not a really good listener, even subconsciously on a spirit level. So like, it seems work related. Like he pissed somebody off and was kind of like dismissive of their opinions and feelings, and they could let him know with an axe blade on a spirit level, which I do not recommend that anyone does, but it happens. So anyway. That was fun trying to explain to him that he's not a good listener. First, it didn't go over so well. But I explained to him that it can help him with business relationships, that help him do better in business. you know, in business deals and stuff. So then he's like, now he's all about it. Funny. Okay, well, good luck to your husband. So yeah, I mean, he benefited from the healing. It's just, you know, he has sometimes he kicks the hornet's nest with people. Okay. So, but he's working with his angels, so he'll be fine. Someone says, thank you for the healing, Janet. I feel pretty sleepy, but enjoying the after effects. Oh, that's nice. Let me change the, I want some more kitten therapy. Let's see, enough bean leaves. Enough bean leaves. Let's do some kitten therapy. Oops. What's that? There we go. How cute are they? Oh, they're so adorable. So cute. Oh. Okay. So, oh yeah, the person says they feel sleepy but enjoying the after effects. Well, that's nice. Doesn't seem like you need to self-assess and post and have me double check your self-assessment about your sleepiness, but if it's a problem, you can post a self-assessment about why you think you're sleepy, and then I would double check it. Someone says, I was sad and crying when we started. I feel grounded now. Thank you, Janet. Well, that sounds great. I am glad that you must have cleared a lot. By the way, I'm not sure who you are in real life. So if you want, you could email me and let me know that YouTube ID and your actual real life first and last name. If you want. My email is janet@jwhealing.com. Okay, someone else says, I am growing pumpkins. Oh, isn't that interesting? I wonder, you must have a lot of space to grow pumpkins, I would think. Because it's plural, pumpkins, growing pumpkins. I wonder how many pumpkins you're growing and how much space you have. You could post it if you want. But that sounds cool. I grew, the closest thing I grew to a pumpkin was a winter squash, delicata squash. But I grew it by accident from our compost pile. I have yet to grow delicata squash on purpose. I might, but we don't really have a lot of space. I mean, we have space, but I want to grow so many other things that I may as well just, you know, support some local farmers and buy their delicata squash instead. But if I had a lot of space, I would definitely grow delicata squash because it's yummy and it lasts a long time in the house before going bad. So, and it's yummy. Did I say it's yummy? Someone says, thank you so much. I am feeling the same. Oh, and you did get the healing. But maybe because my physical body has a cold and I am just too focused on the symptoms. I think I'm avoiding everything else and using that as an excuse. I may need to do RAD block clearing. RAD is resistance avoidance and denial blocks clearing. I don't, and there is a short video if anyone wants it on RAD block clearing in the short video playlist. I don't feel people in my space for distractions unless I can't see them. By the way, liked the new survey look. Thank you. Oh yeah, I didn't mention that. The post-healing survey, I changed companies to a company out of Sweden. And they're more like definitely along the lines of my thinking, like they're very into visual and the visual appeal of a survey. The color and the background photos, and you can make all these adjustments and it's really nice. So So the surveys should be more visually appealing going forward. All right. But anyway, so you're saying that you have a cold, and your issue is maybe that is the issue that you're commenting on that you have a cold, or the issue is why don't you feel the healing? I mean, it seems like you're kind of unfocused on, you're just like stating a bunch of stuff, avoiding everything else and using that as an excuse. I need to By the way, yeah. So thanks for the feedback on the survey, of course. But yeah, as far as the other stuff, I mean, I think if you identify an issue and then identify what you should do about it, it's more clear than just stating a bunch of problems. But you say you're just too focused on the symptoms, avoiding everything else, using that as an excuse. Yeah, I think you do that sometimes. I think that you can get distracted easily. So you can get distracted by thinking of a friend. You can get distracted by thinking of how you have a cold. You can be distracted by the fact that you have a bunch of kids, and that's really hard not to be distracted by your kids because you have to be a decent mom. You can be distracted by, some deficiency in your marriage, or, it's easy to be distracted. And I think that's just sort of the through line, that you get distracted. It's hard for you to, kind of like how unfocused your statement is there. Like it's like if you can focus more, like just, okay, what's your goal? Because it's like you're not gonna be able to fix your life in the next 5 seconds, especially since you have a cold, So pick a goal, get a self-assessment, and work towards it. You see what I'm saying? Like, so is your goal, you want to reduce your symptoms, so therefore what can you do for self-care? Is your goal that you need some peace of mind because you're about to just punch a wall? What's your goal? Pick an issue, pick a goal, pick a self-assessment, and do it. You see what I'm saying? Maybe your goal is you need to rest, and so that's your goal. It's an easy fix, just rest. Or, well, maybe not easy because you're a mom, but so I would say focus, try to simplify, try to focus. Because you tend to use, A to distract you from B and C, and then D to distract you from E and F, and, it's like a whole bunch of scattered things. Hope that makes sense. Focus. Mrs. Hi, Janet, thanks for the healing. You are so welcome. What is that emoji? There's the hand emoji, and then is that a smiley face with an aura around it? I'm not sure what that is. But anyway, thanks. You're welcome. Good to see you. Someone says, hi, Janet. The theme for today's healing was great. The healing helped very much in being more aware of energies blocking self-care. Oh, good. Glad. Someone says, Janet, what brought you to Olympia, Washington? It's beautiful, evergreen state. Well, I wanted to be in a place with more trees and fewer people. I had lived in Chicago for pretty much my entire adult life, except for a couple months in Central America, when I was right after college. But so anyway, I had sort of felt like, okay, I'm done with Chicago. I'm done with Illinois in the Midwest of the US. I want to live somewhere else. I want more trees, less people. And the angels said, yes, go to Olympia, Washington. So they were very specific. They told me exactly where to go, where to move. So we did. My husband was our scout, and the angels told me to tell him what they picked out the Airbnb that he should stay at. They picked out the days that he should travel, like the airfare ticket, what day leaving and returning. They picked out that's pretty much it. And then he went the trip, and then it all just fell into place after that. But yeah, it was some planning. You know, we planned maybe we started. Well, we were thinking about it maybe a year ahead of time at least. Oop, I'm almost done with my little, my half hour. Anyway, yes, it is beautiful out here. Nice big trees. We have giant trees in our backyard. Someone says, I think it was astral damage, not physical, while in the waking up process. Okay, so going back to your thing about you didn't feel right when you woke up. Oh, that's the alarm. Oh, so I wonder how much time do I have? Yeah, it's probably almost a half hour also. Okay, so your question, you did a self-assessment of why you felt weird when you woke up. So your physical body, you're saying, was pretty much fine. Yeah, that's true. I would say though that your physical body, like upper chakras, 7, 6, and 5, were a little like half blocked. And 7, 6, and 5, you had some compression like around, like from your shoulders up in 7, 6, and 5 layers were like a little overly compressed. So, and 7, 6, and 5 chakras were a little too compressed, like half blocked. On your body and your body's aura when you were sleeping. So like before you went to bed, like a couple hours before you went to bed, that was existing. And then, and since you wake up, you know, coming in from the top, that would get in the way. So, but then, okay, so, but then you're saying that you got damaged on the astral, your astral body got damaged. Yeah, I would say that's true. Maybe about 5 minutes before waking up. Yeah, I would say some aura damage and chakra damage to chakras 7, 6, 5, and 1. So yeah, chakra damage and aura damage to your astral body, but then some extra compression and blocks in the physical a little bit. So yeah, that would have not felt right coming in like that. But you're a very good healer, so I'm sure you ended up fixing it, or the healing, you just got fixed it. You look good now, moving forward. More cat emoji, kitten emojis. Yes. How can you not love them? They're so gorgeous. So cute. And I like the little gold bubbles behind them. How cute is that? Someone says nice. Well, thank you. Glad you like the live stream. Someone says my name is, and you're saying your name. Oh, I see. What is your email again, please? And thank you. Sure. So my email address. My email address is so I'm capitalizing the JW just so it stands out. So Janet at jwhealing.com. So JW, that's my name, Janet Wright. And then healing because I do energy healing. So Janet at jwhealing.com is my email address. And then jwhealing.com is my website address. So it's similar to this. It's like the first part of this YouTube channel name is JW Healing. Alrighty, but nice to meet you, and feel free to email me and just say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. Anything you want me to know about you, that would be fun. Someone gives me really pretty emojis. Thank you. That's cute. Someone says, thank you for sharing your moving to Olympia story. Oh, yes. Well, there's actually a video. I will post the link for it. Just take me a second to find it. I have a YouTube channel that is not this one. It's different from this one. It's has much smaller following. It's just like personal stuff that I am happy to have public. So it's like a public personal channel. The channel name is Janet's Pineapple Time, which is kind of a long story, so I'll spare you, but you have to click on the channel in order to find it, because otherwise they are showing other people's shorts. Some are mine that come up, but anyway, if you click on Janet's Pineapple Time to see the channel itself, then you can see there's a video I posted a couple weeks ago with an update on our current pets, and there's this video that talks about our cross-country trip to, well, it literally documents our cross-country trip from Chicago to Washington State that we made in 2016. So I will post a link to that video. The video is called Herbie Goes to Washington. And it's how long is that video? I think it's like a half hour, that video. It's making me watch an ad before I see my own video. It's so lame. It's not like I'm not one of their advertising partners just because I don't want to encourage them to put ads on my videos. And that used to actually matter, but now they'll put ads on your video even if you're not getting money for it. It's so ridiculous. Anyway, it's a 24-minute video. Herbie Goes to Washington. But it just shows me back in 2016 when we brought 7 animals cross country in a Dodge Grand Caravan. Me and my husband. But anyway, okay. So that's that. But there are shorter videos on that channel as well. And if you subscribe to that channel, then you will see when I post things to that channel. It's not that often, but I hope to do a couple at least each year. Some about my garden. There's some about gardening stuff on there. Some about pets. Alrighty, so what should I talk about at the end? No, I don't really have any good pet photos at the moment. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna wrap up. So I don't want to excite my dog. He's like kind of calm right now, which is nice. So we'll stick with the kitten therapy. And I'll just wrap up. I'll show my website address. Oh, I'll end with a sales note, I guess. The June sets just went up recently, 2 days ago, on the 15th. So the healing sets for June. The theme for that is heal heart fatigue, increase enthusiasm and motivation. So it'll help the heart chakra quite a bit, but just in general, like mental fatigue, emotional fatigue, literal fatigue, hopefully literal fatigue as well. But it'll sometimes, literal fatigue has real physically rooted things, and so it might not help your physical fatigue. It might help your physical fatigue if there are mental and emotional contributing factors to it, because that's more of what can be most directly helped with energy healing. Mental stuff, emotional stuff, spiritual stuff. So healing heart fatigue and increasing enthusiasm and motivation. That's the themes for June, which is on sale on my website. And also abundance is the theme for May. Healings. So they're both May sets are for sale on my website right now too. So that's jwhealing.com. All right, everybody, you are so amazing. And I hope you have a good afternoon, evening, or morning, whatever is next for you. Okay. We'll wrap up with some confetti. Okay, bye. You're so amazing.